Hello, everybody. I thought it's important to also just give a brief overview in terms of the Hubris hypothesis, which is a theory or which is a hypothesis that is, rested in the corporate finance space, which was introduced by Richard Roll in 1986 to try and explain why some companies may overpay, why some companies may end up engaging in bad acquisitions, and those bad acquisitions are not influenced by the capital, are not influenced by market dynamics, but they're influenced by the behavior of managers of the acquiring firm. So the theory tries to explain why some managers would engage in bad acquisitions, would engage in bad or serious overvaluations of targets, and as a result of the overvaluation and as a result of the bad acquisitions, the acquiring firm might endure losses, and sometimes it can endure destruction of the brand because of these. So it also depends on the size of the acquisition, but in many cases the consequences are very dire on the acquiring firm. So these bad acquisitions, these overvaluations are done because managers, they are overconfident, they've got pride, they think they are superiors in the market, they think they are able to beat the market, and they're able to to quantify the premiums the best way than everyone else, but sometimes though that confidence can be consequential as far as the acquiring firm is concerned. So the hypothesis states that managers sometimes may have excessive confidence, may have excessive pride in the market as market leaders, as CEOs, as people that are well respected in the industry. They may have, so that may lead them to be able to overstate their abilities, and also to be able to underestimate the costs that are involved, to make sure that the measures are well implemented, the acquisitions are well implemented. And also sometimes they may overestimate the ability of the synergies, in terms of the power of the synergies that are going to be created when two entities or two or more entities come together. Because what is expected is that when you acquire a target, there must be improvement in terms of growth, there must be improvement in terms of market share, there must be improvement in terms of the skill set that is available at the entity, there must be improvement in terms of the profitability at the end. So that would then be able to justify. If you add 1 + 1 and you don't get 3 in the case of mergers, it's a literal example. Say if you add 1 and 1, you shouldn't be able to only get 2, but you should be able to have more than double the size of these two entities. Why? Because of the benefits of growth and also the benefits of commanding a bigger market share in the market. So that comes. So if you listen to my videos on organic growth and growth through the M&A process, you'll then be able to understand the advantages of growth that I've given in those videos. So what are the elements of the hubris hypothesis? So you find that there's an element of overconfidence when managers believe that they have superior skill, and as a result, even if the target is not doing well, they think that if they acquire the target, they'll be able to get enormous benefits. They'll be able to enjoy the benefits of the M&A process, in as much as sometimes that target wouldn't be the best fit, or the value of that target wouldn't be the best value for that fit. Because remember, there's overbidding that can happen sometimes. So you may find that the managers may overbid to a point where other bidders won't see the value in bidding or in counter bidding that target. Secondly, there's an element of overpayment. So of course, if you don't get the actual value of the target firm, then it means that you are overpaying. If you're paying way above what everyone else is expecting or is willing to pay, then it means that you're overpaying. And that overpayment is done because you're overconfidence, because you're arrogant, because you have too much pride and you think that you know it all and you think you've got the expertise to beat the market. And lastly, you can also speak about the element of market efficiency ignorance in terms when you are disregarding the true reflection of the market price of the target. And that can then lead you to be able to overbid, and that overbidding can way overinflate the expectations of the market, and as a result, that may bring in losses to the acquiring firm. So how then does the hubris hypothesis leads to bad acquisition? So number one, you are overvaluing synergies, because one of the main reasons why you want to acquire another firm is because you want to enjoy the benefits of synergies. You want to save costs. You want to boost your revenues. How do you save costs? Remember, if you are looking at the element of either vertical or vertical mergers, if you acquire your competitor in the event of a horizontal merger, this simply means that you are now in control of the market. You can determine the costs of production. You have minimized costs as far as other areas that needed you to be able to spend money, and as a result, you may be able to save costs. And also, because you are now, if you use a vertical merger, now because you are in control of the value chain, you can then be able now to minimize costs, and as a result, you can boost your revenue. So these are the expectations that you have if you want to acquire a certain entity. But because now managers are overly optimistic, you can then be able to overestimate the cost-saving implications of these acquisitions. You may also assume enormous revenue growth opportunities as a result of acquiring this target firm, but in the real sense, that target might not be the best target that you could have acquired for you to be able to enhance your revenue. And lastly, because of overvaluing synergies, you may underestimate the challenges that come with integrating two organizations, with issues of culture, issues of market positioning, and issues of technological integration. These all can be costly for the acquiring firm, and as a result, this may reduce now the synergy expectations that you would have before acquiring another firm. And secondly, in terms of how does the hubris hypothesis explains bad acquisitions? So because you're overconfident, you have too much pride, you think you know it all, you may ignore due diligence. It means you may not look at the finer details of the deal. You may ignore other areas that can turn out to be very important going into the future. So because of there's lack of due diligence, you may overlook maybe financial weaknesses in the target firm. Maybe the target firm doesn't have enough strength as it looks from the outside. You may also underestimate post-merger integration complexities, which means the cost involved, the motivation of people involved in the process. All those things are caused by the failure to do due diligence, when you probably fail to recognize the potential risks that may come as a result of acquiring that firm, regulatory risks that may come as a result of acquiring. The commission may disregard, may disapprove that acquisition, and many other things, many other challenges, many other risks that may come as a result of acquiring another firm. And lastly, not lastly of course, but also another reason why the hubris hypothesis may explain why bad acquisitions is paying of excessive premiums, mainly because the managers have failed to do due diligence. They are overconfident, they are arrogant, and as a result, they pay excessive premiums for the target firm. And also, lastly, ignoring market sentiment and competitive bidding. Because remember, when you're acquiring another firm, there may be bidding involved. Other firms also want to acquire that firm, and whoever who is the biggest bidder will be able to acquire the target. So in the case of competitive bidding, the hypothesis says that managers may tend to engage in the winner's case, where the winner of the bidding war ends up overpaying for the target. So you end up paying what everyone else is not willing to pay. So, for example, so you think of a car auction. When people want to go to pay for a car, the value of this car is known in the market. That if there's a second-hand car that has got 100,000 kilometers on the clock and there's a full service, this is the price that you are expecting to pay as a bidder. So if anyone bids above that, then that becomes the winner's case because they've overpaid for the target. Everyone was expecting to pay to a certain point because they understand, they've done due diligence, they understand, they've experienced, they've done this before, and they're only willing to pay to a certain point. And because of ignorance, because of too much pride, because of thinking that they have expertise to beat the market, then they may end up now bidding way above the expectations of everyone else in the market. So I thought of doing this video so that everyone else can be able to benefit in terms of unpacking how the Hubris hypothesis explains the case of bad mergers and also the case of bad acquisitions. Thank you for stopping by. You can check out other videos that can help you to be able to understand the aspect of merger and acquisitions. Thank you very much.